everybody, this is Ayushman and again welcome back to my channel Keep Learning Initiative. And in this video I'm going to show you that how you can design your very own web page using only HTML5 codes, and the text editor that we are going to use is Notepad. So there are a lot of things that we are going to do today, and those are how to start an HTML document, how to make the text move from right to left, and formatting text, adding images, adding borders to images, and how to make this text blink and appear as it is looking like an earthquake. Alright, so let's begin. So let's open up a notepad and now let's begin. So first of all, we have to use the HTML tag. This tag is used to tell the browser, indicate the browser that now we are writing an HTML document. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to save this file. Okay, so I'm going to save as, then desktop, and over there I'm going to go to the folder that I have saved my file. I'm going to save my file. We need to choose the all files, the save as type, and then we need to fill the name that we are going to save the file with. So it's going to be list of subjects for .html. And never forget to use the .html extension. Okay, now we need to save the file. Alright, now we should begin. Okay, now after the HTML, we need to use the head tag. It's the part, head. And in that, we need to use the center tag so that the text that we are going to write is going to be appeared on center, like in this one, and it's moving also. I'm going to tell you how is it moving. Now, to make it move, you need to use the marquee tag. Okay, and marquee is a container tag, the tag that needs to be closed also, so we need to remember this too. And the font will be also, we need to have color also, so color belongs to the font family, right? And over here I'm using red. You can also use hex color codes also, right? So here I've chosen color as red, and the size is going to be 32. Okay, now we are also going to have a face, font face, which I'm taking as Joker Man. You can also take Cooper Black, Comic Sans, etc. Okay, now we have covered this part. Now what we need to do is, now we have to close all of the tags that we have used, but before that we need to write our heading, which is list of subjects. Okay, now we need to close everything. We need to close the head part, we need to close the center part, and we need to close the marquee part. And also the font. These all are container tags, that's why we need to close them. Alright, now let's move on to the title part. Now in title, we are going to write list of subjects. The title cannot be changed or edited, as it is going to be this part, list of subjects. You cannot edit this part. Okay, now we need to close the title as well. Okay, now let's close the head. I earlier closed over here only, that is wrong. Now we are going to close head part over here. Alright, now let's begin with the body part. Now, we also need to have a color for our background. So we are going to have body BG color, which will be equals to pink. We are choosing pink over here. You can choose any other color also. And now to give breaks in lines, we need to use the BR tag or the break tag. Alright, now we are going to check that whatever we have done till now, is it going to be shown on our web page too? Let's check it out. First we need to save it. Alright, so here you can see that the title, or I may say the head, is appearing. It is moving, right? Now, what we need to do is that we need to increase the speed and also the body BG color, which is not coming, so we need to edit that again. As I left space over here, that's why the body BG color was not coming. Now let's check it again. Okay, now you are able to see this one. Alright, now let's increase that we need to increase the speed of this marquee tag. So we need to use scroll amount, and then we need to write the speed. For example, I'm going to choose 20 and we need to save it. So now you can see that list of subjects is moving faster, and like this you can do hit and try method and increase speed or decrease speed. Alright, so now let's carry on with our work. Alright, now we are going to start with paragraphs, and for paragraphs we need to use the P tag, and in P tag also we can do editing. For example, if we need to align our paragraph, so we need to write P align is equals to double quotes, and we can write left. One thing that you should remember over here is that whenever you write an attribute or a specific value, then you always have to use double quotes. And these double quotes need to be used with text, not with numbers or numerical values. As you can see, I've used no double quote over here. Alright, now let's carry on. So we need to close it with the angular bracket, and then we need to write the font size. So font size will be equals to, we can take 50. Okay, now let's move on. Now we are going to write in angular brackets font color, which will be equals to blue. You can choose any other color also, or a hex code. And if we need to change the font face, which lies in the font family, then we can use any. Over here I'm using Agency FB. You can even use Cooper Black or Comic Sans, etc. Alright, now we need to close the angular bracket. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the subject, first subject, which is SST, and then I'm going to close the font as it is a container tag, so font always needs to be closed. Okay? Now we need to write over here font color again, because the next things that I'll be writing over here will be in different color. Okay? Wait a second. Now I'm going to save this and we are going to check whatever has come till now. And you can see SST is coming in blue color. Now let's edit further. Now font color will be equals to purple. Always keep it in mind that you need to use double quotes. And font face will be equals to Agency FB again. Okay, and we need to use the size too, so size will be equals to 50. Okay, now let's close it. Close the angular bracket. And now we are going to write some things about the SST subject, about the description description of this subject SST. So now I'm going to write the description. Alright, so the description, I'm going to choose the description from here. So I have copied the description and now I'm going to paste it over here. You can also choose any of the description you want. Okay, now let's close the font tag with the forward slash. And now what you might be thinking is that how to insert an image and how to add a border. Well, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use CSS tags, CSS commands, cascading style sheets. Alright? Now, what you need to do to add an image, you need to write img src, that is image source, and it will be an attribute, the path through which we are going to select the file photo. That is an attribute, a specific value, so we need to write it under double quotes. Okay? Now, I have a lot of images, so I am choosing images from here, and you can also choose whatever image you want. Just see me that how am I doing it. So I'm right clicking on the image that I want. I go to properties and I choose the location. Okay, so now I am going to copy the location, as well as one thing that you need to know, that we also need to have a backslash and we need to write the name of our file. What is the name of the file? SST1, and with that I have also written .jpg. So I'm going to write SST1.jpg and I have closed it with the double quotes, and also I have to use the bracket. Okay, now let's see that has our image come over there or not in the web page. Okay, so you can see, I'll reload it, and you can see that the image is there. Now what we need to do is that we need to change the height of the image, and we also need to align it. So now I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, now let's begin. So we need to write height, which will be equals to, suppose 400, and we are also going to choose width, which can be equals to 600. You can choose any. So for now I'm going to close it with the angle bracket, and now let's see. Okay, so you can see the image is coming like this, but it looks awkward, don't you think? So now I'm going to align it properly and also tell you how to add border. So now I am beginning with the CSS commands. We are going to use center, then div style, and remember this is for border. And we need to write attributes over here, specific values, so use double quotes. So we are going to write border, which will be of 20 pixels. Mind it that do not give space in between, otherwise an error will occur. Okay? Now let's carry on. 20 pixels, and the type I want is ridge. You can even choose dotted. Okay, now after ridge we are going to use some hex color codes. So over here you need to write an hashtag for it, and then I'm going to write 28C9AC. Okay, now we have written the color code. Now we need to align the image. So image align will be right. Okay, and we need to also have width, which should be 48%. Okay, now let's save it. But first, I will close the double quotes and also the angular bracket. Now I need to close the center and also the div, but before that I'm going to align this image again in the img src tag. Okay, so align will be equals to top, and now we need to close the center and div tags. So we know how to close it with /, and that's how we need to close it. We also need to close the paragraph, and we need to give a break in between. Now let's check how it is appearing. Okay, so here it is appearing like this. Now we need to adjust this border. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so now I have changed the CSS command, and now let's check that how our web page is appearing. Alright, so now you can see that, yes, now you can see that the border is perfectly aligned to the image, and you should also reload your page. Don't forget to do that, otherwise you will not be able to see the changes that you have made. Alright, now let's move on to the second subject we have. Okay, well, the second subject we have is going to be science, but first we need to start with the same thing. P-align is equals to left, paragraph align left, and we need to close the angular brackets and again open angular brackets and write font size, which will be equals to 50. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy whatever we have done, whatever I have written. Okay, now I have copied it and I am pasting. You can also copy and paste it. So here I'm going to change the name to science. Okay, and now I'm going to add its description from here. Okay, so right now we are going to write about computers, not science. So let's change it to computer. And now we are going to write its description. So I've copied the description and I've pasted it. Now we need to close the font. Okay. And now we are finished with the description. Now what we need to do is that we need to write again the CSS commands and add image. So again I'm going to copy the CSS command from here and paste it over here. And now we need to add an image. So I'm going to write image source, and image source is always different, so we need to go back. And in the images folder I'm going to choose this image. So right click, with properties, in the location, copy your location of the file, then paste it over there, and the name of your file with .jpg. You need to write like this: computer science 2.jpg. Okay, now I'm just going to close the angular brackets. Now let's check what has happened. Okay, so we can see like this our text is appearing. Alright, now we need to adjust our image size, like length and width, to align this border and image properly. So let's begin. We are going to choose height as 400 and we are going to choose width as let's say 600. Okay, now we are going to line the image that is going to be top over here so that the image will align exactly as the border that has been applied by using the CSS commands. Alright, now we need to close div, center, paragraph, okay, and also at the BR break in line, so we need to use BR tag. So let's perform it. Close the div tag, close center tag, we close the paragraph tag, and now we need to add a break in the line, so we are using the BR tag. Alright, now first let's save. And alright, as you can see, the border and image are perfectly aligned. So you need to do hit and try method and play with these commands. Okay, now let's move on to the third subject. Similarly, we again need to use p-align left, need to use paragraph, so I'm copying this all. And I am pasting it over here. And instead of computer, now I'll be using science, choosing science. Okay, now I'm going to add a description. So I'm going to my original web page and take the description by copying it. And here I paste it. And now I'm going to close font. Alright, now we are going to again add an image, but before that we need to use CSS commands. So copy the CSS commands of the previous subject that we have written. And now we need to write image source img_src. So I'm going to my folder on desktop, images folder, and now I am choosing this image, science lab. I'm going to properties and I'm choosing the location. And now I'm going to paste it over here with a forward slash. And now with a backslash, I'm going to write the file's name. So I have written computer lab, and with that .jpg, this file's extension. Okay, now let's check what has come on our web page. Alright, now as you can see, it has not uploaded properly, so I'm going to rectify it. Okay, so here I have to write science lab instead of computer lab. Okay, now I have to save it and let's check how it's coming now. Alright, now you can see that the image has come, but it has grown to too much size. Its length is so much and its width is so much. Now we are going to adjust it. So height is going to be, I'm going to add space, yeah. Now height will be 400 and width will be equals to, we can write 600, and a line should be to the top so that a border and image will align properly to each other. Okay, now let's close the div tag, the center tag, the paragraph tag or the p tag, and let's create a break in the line by using the BR tag. Now let's save it. And as you can see, they are both of the images and the border is aligned properly. Alright, so now let's move on to the next subject. So the next subject that we are going to choose is going to be Hindi. So again, the same format, copy and paste it. Change the subject's name to Hindi. And now let's add its description by going to the original web page. So let's copy all of this and let's paste it. Let me add a period. Okay, now I'm going to close the font tag as it is a container tag. Now again, we are going to use the CSS command, so we need to copy the CSS commands and then again use the image source tag, that is img src, and use double quotes. Now I'm again going to my images folder and I'm going to choose this image. So I go to properties and choose the location or the path of the saved file. Paste it, use the backslash, and I'm going to see the name of my file, which is hindi2.png. hindi2.png. Sorry, JPG, not PNG. And now I'm going to write G instead of H over here. Now I'm going to use the angular bracket and close it. Now I have saved this file, and now let's check how the result has come. Okay, same over here too, that we need to decrease the length and width of the image. So let's do it. We'll keep the height as 400, which is as usual, and also the width, which is to 600. And also we are going to align this image to top. Now we need to close the tags that we have used. So we need to close the div tag, we need to close the center tag using the slash, we need to close the p tag too. This question mark is I use angular brackets, and we need to close the p tags and use the br tag to give break in between the lines. Now let's save it and again go to our web page. Alright, now you can see that the image and the border both have aligned perfectly, impeccably. Now let's move on to the next subject. And again, we need to copy all of it and then paste it. So our next subject is going to be maths. So I'm going to write math over here. And now I'm going to copy the description. You can write whatever description you want. Okay, now I'm choosing copying this description and pasting it. Since font is a container tag, it requires to be closed. I'm going to close the font tag. Now we need to again use CSS commands and image src to add the image, right? So let's copy the CSS commands, and in this way you should also in between write your notes, the tags that I'm using, okay, so that you will understand everything about HTML. Okay, I'm going to do Ctrl Z. I'm just going to write img src. Now I'm going to choose the image from the images folder, and I'm choosing this image. Go to properties, choose the location or the path, and then paste it. Ta-da! Alright, now let's use the backslash, and the name of the file is maths.jpg. Okay, maths.jpg. Done. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm also going to mention the height and width and also the alignment. So height is equals to 400 and width is equals to 600. Basic. Alright, now let's align. Use the align. So align will be equals to top for the image to align properly with the border. And now let's close the div tag, the center tag, and also the p or the paragraph tag. And for creating breaks in between the lines, we need to use the vr tag. As simple as that. Piece of cake, isn't it? Alright, now let's save the file and let's go to the web page and reload it. And as you can see, the changes have appeared and even the borders are working perfectly fine with the image. Okay, now let's move on to the next subject that we have. So again, we need to copy and paste it over here. The paragraph tags, the font size, font color, that is age. Font color is blue, face is equals to agency. And instead of math, now we are going to write something else. We are going to write English. Okay. English. Alright, now we want description for it. So let's go over there and take the description. Okay, so copy the description, paste it, and ta-da! Then we need to close the font tag. Now again, copy the CSS commands and then we are going to add images. So the CSS commands are here. Now, we are going to use the imgsrc tag, image source. I'm going to the images folder. I'm choosing the desired image that I want to appear on my web page. Go to properties and over here it's written. You can also see some file types, like types of file, open with photos. You should even analyze all of these. You should see them. So over here the file type is JPG. Okay, and now I'm copying the path or the location of this path of this photo in JPG format. Now I'm going to write its name. It's English1.jpg. Alright, now again use double quotes to end the attribute, the specific value. Now we need to use height and width. So height will be equals to 400 and width is equals to 600. Okay, now let's align the image to top of the border. Okay, now what we need to do is close the div tag, then close the center tag. And also one thing is that whenever you write any HTML codes, for example, if you are writing body BG color, in that, first of all, BG color is both together, there is no space, and then in color you don't have to write COLOUR, you have to write COLOR in British, okay? And also, in spite of writing CENTRE, you need to write CENTER, so that the browser will be analyzing this tag and it will be able to show what tag we have written. Okay, so remember both of these points. Close the paragraph tag. Use the BR tag to give break in between lines. And ta-da! Now save the file and again go to the website, and it is perfectly, impeccably aligned properly, the image as well as the border, which is in rich format. You can also use other types of formats such as dotted. That would also look good. Okay? If I change ridge to dotted, I want to show you. So it would appear like this. See? Does it look good? You can also use this border too. You can also use this border. Now I'm again going to change it to ridge and save it. And again, the border has come in front of our eyes. Alright, now let's move on to the next subject we have. And that is going, firstly we need to copy and paste it over here. And in spite of writing English, now we are going to write some other subject, and we are going to take that subject as French. That subject is going to be French. Now, for the description, we can choose the description from here. Copy the description, paste it over here, and finally use the font tag again with a forward slash to close the font tag. It is very necessary. Okay, now let's again copy the CSS command, and now to add the image, I'm going to use imgsrc, that is image source, and let's copy the destination or the path or the location of the file from the folder in which you have saved your file. Go to properties, choose the path of the file as well as the name of the file. Use backslash, and the name of the file is french1.jpg. So write french1.jpg. Alright, now we are going to use height and width. To use height and width, we need to write height is equals to double quotes and closing double quotes both 400, and width will be equals to 600. Now we are also going to align the image to top of the border, and now we need to close the div tag, the center tag, and as well as the p tag, and use a br tag. Alright, so let's save the file, and now let's reload the page, and ta-da! The page is over here. The last French, the last topic, the last subject, French, is over here. Alright, now the moment that you all have been waiting for is just going to arrive in front of your eyes. Now you might be wondering that how to bring this over here, the text appearing as an earthquake, sometimes blinking, sometimes as an earthquake. And I am also going to show you that how you can format, how you create this rectangle, how you add border, and also how you can change the font color and how this text is appearing in this way. So let's begin. As we know, to make our text move from right to left, we use the marquee tag. So we are going to use the marquee tag, and we are going to use scroll amount. Now scroll amount over here means that how much you want, the speed in which you want the text to move. So I'm going to choose the speed that is going to be excessively, intensely fast. Excessively fast. So scroll amount, we are going to write the scroll amount. And I am choosing it 5000 as the speed. And if we want our rectangle to have a color, then we are going to use BG color and no space, which we can take as purple. You can choose any other color, you can choose the hex colors, etc. And the style, you can choose border. We need to write it in double quotes as it is an attribute specific value. So border, and border should be solid. Okay, and now what we have to do is close the double quotes and close the angular brackets. Now we have to write the font color, which we are going to take as yellow for by Ayushman Jasur to appear. Okay, we have used the double quotes and used the angular brackets. Now we need to write the desired text, the required text. You can write anything at the end. You can even use it as in the beginning. Alright? Now, what we need to do, as we have used the marquee tag and the font tag, I've told you that the marquee tag is also a container tag. So, a container tag requires to be off also when it is turned on. Otherwise, it will continue to be used in each line of the website. Okay, now let's close the marquee tag and close the font tag. Now, we have completed with everything we wanted. So, in this website, we need to close a body part, and then we need to close the HTML document. So we need to use angular brackets / HTML. Alright, now let's save the file and load the page. And as you can see, the text is appearing similar to the file that I previously downloaded too. Okay? So now you can also create various other websites by using the tags that I have told you today. And here is the full code of what we have learned today. All the codes. You can write it in your notebooks and make notes. Alright, so this was all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and please do like, share and subscribe. I'll be coming back with more new videos. Till then, keep smiling and keep learning. And adieu and hasta la vista, amigos.